Hi, I'm Fernando Torres, and today we are analyzing Henkel. This case, Henkel, building a winning culture, is a happy case, what I call a happy case because it's already solved. We're going to analyze what happened, what was done, and we'll try to connect it to theory. So first, I would like to go back to 2008. What was happening this year? Well, we had the financial crisis with the economic downturn, but we also had rising raw material costs. We also had in the company a newly appointed CEO. Kasper Rosted. With the economic crisis and the rising raw material costs, the prices went up and the volume went down. People tend to move to low-cost products. So imagine just for a minute that you are the new CEO of a company and you face this. You face the financial crisis, you have your volumes down, and you find out that the company you are the head of is complacent. Meaning they have a lack of competitive spirit. And you see people performing great. So managers tell people they are doing good. Everybody's getting their bonuses, they are very happy, performing well, but the company is not performing well. So there's something broken there. Rosted wants things to change. What he does, he calls for a press conference in order to send a powerful message that he wants to change things. He votes himself to make this a performance-based company. And he sets some very big or ambitious 2012 targets, financial targets. So for 2012, he wants organic sales growth of 3 to 5%. He wants an EBIT margin in 2012 of 14%, and he wants earnings per share or per preferred share growth of at least 10%. Let's remember we are coming from an EBIT of 10.3%. What do people say? Analysts say it's not possible. Then they jump and say, I'll believe it when I see it. It's too optimistic, it's too hard to achieve, we don't buy it. So they have a point. Actually, this is not going to happen if it's only a very nice wish. What we need is a strategy, but also control. We need to align the strategy with controls that change or promote behavior in people. Every time we talk about control, we talk about behavior and people. So we start with the strategy. With the strategy, very quickly, I'm going to say that Rosted invested heavily on those markets where he could see a clear path for growth, and he divested on those markets where he could not see it. But talking about the soft part, about the people, he knew he had to change the culture. So he proposed a change on the culture to get a winning culture. So the winning culture we can find on Exhibit 4. The winning culture was about achieving the full potential of every business unit. We have 3 business units. Second, to center more on the customer. And third, to strengthen the team, the global team. So for this, the first thing, well, he says 2 things to do. First, he needs to set vision and values. Did the company have values? Yes, they had. We can find on Exhibit 5 10 values that meant really little. So we had the 10 values everywhere, we could see them on the wall, but they meant nothing. Actually, they didn't drive any core decision or any important decision at all. So the first thing the top management team does is to set a set of values that is easier. It's only 5 values to remember. We can remember them now, actually. They are to make the customer the center of everything we do. We have to value, challenge, and reward our people. We have to excel on financial performance. We have to be one like a leader on sustainability, and we want to build on our family founded company, which means not to be a big family, but to have accountability and entrepreneurship. So for that to happen, we need a vision, and that's to be a global leader on brands and technology. Well, how are we going to do that? Vision and values are actually bought by all the people. So we have 5,000 workshops. With the workshops, everyone had to devise some action plan to actually materialize or get something good out of vision and values. For example, they came up with the Entrepreneurship Award or the Meet Your Customer initiative or program. So it's about making people part of the vision and values. At the end of the case, we can see that even though the vision and values were set top-down, we want to make the buy-in bottom-up by including people on the development plans. What do we need next? We need a system, a performance management system. We know what we measure is what we get, and what we pay and incentivize is also what we get. So what we want to measure and pay goes to the individual. We need the individual to be part of the results, to make the strategy work. And they have motivation and satisfaction. We'll talk about them in a minute. But first, let's talk about the system. It's a very interesting system. So for the system, we have development roundtable. The development roundtable is a place where every one of the management team, about 9,000 people of the 4 layers of management, were graded on an evaluation grid, and they were graded based on performance and potential. We can find this on Exhibit 7 or the first page of the case. So performance had to be low, moderate, strong, or top. What we find here is that we had to have 5% of low performers, 25% of moderate, 60% strong, and 10% top. What this made us was, if one development roundtable finished without any person on the low performance, they had to discriminate the worst moderates and change them to low performers. So actually, this made us to be more critic and give feedback to people. Before, everybody was doing great, the company not so much, but everybody was doing great. If they were laid off, they would be surprised. If I have done great all my life, why am I being fired? But here, people actually knew if they were underperforming or overperforming. What about the people who were performing well, with good potential and good results? Could they grow in the company? Yeah, the answer is very, very interesting. Out of the 180 top management team, very top, 50% changed in the past 3 years. Of this 50%, that's 90 people, 75% came from within the company. What this tells you is that you actually can grow within the company. Not all the talent is coming from outside, but rather most of the talent in the top management comes from within the company. So you can actually grow if you are here. What this makes is people are more entrepreneurial, they show leadership, and so on, because they know they want to grow. If someone just can't do it, they leave, and that leaves us with the best talent, and we can attract the best talent. Now, let's talk about the formula. So here are the results, and we have a formula. We have a bonus system. For the bonus, I'm going to write it down here. For the bonus, you have to multiply the group results and the team evaluation. So in this mix, the group is worth 30%, the team is worth 70%, which is could be the business unit or the market, the local market, and it could be measured or the grade can be obtained based on EBIT margin, sales growth, etc. But on the individual part, you were also assessed, and you had 2 KPIs, like very personal, worth 50%, and then your development roundtable grade, worth 50%. What you got here, you could exceed 100%, you could get a better score than 100 if you exceeded expectations, and then you get a bigger bonus. So the formula was to multiply these two. So if the group was 150 and you got a 150, then your bonus was 2.25 times your target bonus, which could be 25% your base salary. So it's a good money, it's a good way to motivate in terms of the economic. And in terms of psychological, anthropological, social, you have the growth within the company to get a better position if you perform well. Talking about the formula, very quickly, we have probably uncontrollable or non-controllable factors that don't depend so much on yourself, but you also have controllable factors. It's a mix that makes people collaborate, but also perform individually. So you don't have people just laying down with the group performing well and lacking this drive for an individual. But also, if you were in the top, that didn't mean you were going to be in the top next year. You have to be more entrepreneurial, to be a better leader, to have good results year after year. And this is what made Henkel to actually achieve strategic goals, to make a system based on people. It's to humanize the system and make people part of the strategy, control the behavior, reward them, and give them a chance to grow. So thank you very much. This was my analysis. Time was short, but I hope you liked this.